GetReady.gov.
Bob Fielner is getting a big endorsement from former President Bill Clinton. The support came in from a phone call which Fielner played for a dress conference Wednesday. Clinton said Bob has experience to move San Diego forward to create good-paying 21st century jobs. Clinton added that Fielner will support quality public education and put neighborhoods first, not special interests. He also cited Fielner's work as a freedom rider in the civil rights movement in the 60s. Recent polls show the race between Democrat Bob Fielner and Republican Carl DeMaio will be a close one.
The presidential race is not the only tight or tense race on San Diegans' minds. The race for mayor is in the nation's 8th largest city, and the campaign for the congressional seat in the newly reformed 52nd district has garnered national attention. In the middle of a war of negative ads, two of the candidates took time out to let us know what was most important to them.
I would like to say jobs, jobs, jobs. It's making sure neighborhoods have the infrastructure and the attention that they need, and it's making sure to do whatever I can to make our educational system the best.
Let's make sure that everyone's paying their fair share of taxes, millionaires and billionaires and oil companies who've been doing well. Maybe they can do a little bit more for us, and let's get the economy moving again.
We contacted both of Congressman Bill Brace and Carl DeMaio's campaigns, but they didn't respond to our request for interviews.
With the end of Hurricane Sandy, many questions of how voting will go arise. The presidential campaigns are picking up once again. Republican candidate Mitt Romney got a slight early start and appeared in Roanoke, Virginia.
Here we have the resources of a library, but unless you have someone in there who is running it and is responsible for it and taking care of it, kids really now don't really have access to that library.
This is just part of the dilemma facing Principal Janine Wardlow of Washington Elementary School in San Diego. For the past 4 years, teachers across California have looked at March 15th as a pink letter day, a day that sends their lives into uncertainty.
Besides your salary being, non-existent or not, everything's a waiting game, especially since you get a pink slip so early in the year and you're still finishing your school year. So you have to work the next months not knowing if you're coming back and how to prepare.
At home I have a newborn baby, so even for this school year it was really tough not knowing, okay, am I going to start in August? Am I going to start in September? Am I going to start in October? Because now it's not only me, I have somebody else at home that I need to take care of and I need to plan for, and it is tough not knowing what the future holds as far as my job.
Governor Jerry Brown's trigger cuts guarantee a $6 billion cut in education if Prop 30 doesn't pass. This results in shorter school years, larger class sizes, wasted programs, and less teachers. This is Jim Smith for Newscene.
If Prop 30 doesn't pass, these trigger cuts are immediate and will be felt this school year.
One proposition on the November 6th ballot could have a significant effect on your future food choices. Food companies on both sides of the issue have spent millions of dollars so far. Aaliyah Bora has a story.
Right now, there's no way to tell whether these bananas have genetically modified ingredients, but with Prop 37, that could all change.
Proposition 37, also known as the California Right to Know Act, calls for labeling of foods made with genetically modified ingredients, or GMOs. Supporters of the prop argue that people have a right to know what's in their food, and that over 60 other countries already require labeling of GMOs.
The American Medical Association and the World Health Organization have both come out with statements saying that genetically modified food is significantly different than traditional food and should be fully tested. And right now it has not been fully tested.
The Yes on 37 campaign has earned over $7 million so far, funded largely by individuals and organic food companies. On the other hand, the No on 37 campaign has been funded by major food corporations like Monsanto, Kraft Foods, and PepsiCo, who have collectively spent nearly $40 million fighting the labeling measure.
I think what bothers me the most about Prop 37 is how deceptive it is. It gives the impression that it will tell you whether the food you're buying contains ingredients from genetically engineered processes, but it doesn't. It just talks about how the food is manufactured, not what's in it.
The no side also argues that the measure would open the door for people to file frivolous lawsuits and increase food costs. The rest of the country is watching California because if Prop 37 passes here, it could set the precedent for other states. For Newscene, I'm Aaliyah Bora.
Right now, there is no way to tell which of these bananas have genetically modified ingredients, but which Prop 37 that could all change. Proposition 37, also known as the California Right to Know Act, calls for labeling of foods made with genetically modified ingredients.
After years of arguments, the death penalty and its existence is on the ballot. Our Jim Smith has the story.
Legal executions were first authorized for California in 1851, with the first state-conducted execution coming in 1872 at San Quentin. Since then, California's system of capital punishment has undergone a myriad of changes, from the methods of execution to the judicial processes before and after convictions. This has led to many debates over cost and morality.
The death penalty is a hollow promise that doesn't bring justice or peace to murder victim family members. And then oftentimes, people on death row actually die of old age or ailment. They don't die of execution.
Opponents and proponents agree that the system is faulty.
Certainly, nobody could make an argument that our death penalty, as it stands, is effective. I mean, it certainly needs work to become effective.
How about legislators, instead of shirking from their responsibilities, step up and protect Californians? Protect them from the most evil elements in our society.
The state's legislative analyst has calculated that this will save about $130 million, which can be reallocated to the general fund.
Currently, there are 723 inmates on death row. No one has been executed since 2006, and only 13 condemned prisoners have been put to death since 1978. The average stay for a death row inmate is 24 years.
It's practically wrong because many people end up being innocent, yet they either face or have been executed.
In the state of California, there has never been a finding of innocence of anyone on death row or a finding of prosecutorial misconduct.
Prosecutors say the death penalty is the will of the people. This November, the people will decide. This is Jim Smith for Newscene.
The first recorded execution in California was here in San Diego County in 1778 when 4 Native Americans were executed for conspiracy to commit murder.
And in other election matters, there are 26 state and country propositions on the ballot. A few of prominent propositions are Prop 30 and 38, which are competing education initiatives. Prop 34, 35, and 36, which are measures to change current sentencing guidelines, and Prop Z, a $2.8 billion bond measure for San Diego schools. For more information, you can just go to the website below.
City College students are honoring the military in a big way. We'll tell you all about this memorial event taking place here in the campus.
Halloween may be over, but festivities are still taking place. How local residents are celebrating one of Mexico's biggest holidays here in the States.
Ready? Go get it.